Hi, I'm Cecy, and this is my first video on BookTube. I decided to start a BookTube channel recently, so welcome and thank you for watching. Today's video is actually going to be the Avengers Book Tag. I have seen some booktubers doing it, and also because Margaret Stohl wrote a novelization of Black Widow. Forever Red is the name of the first book, and it just came out, I believe, this week. And I just received mine in the mail, so I'm very excited for it. I think I'm going to read it probably in the next week or two. I'm really excited for this one. Let's get started and talk about my Avengers book tag. Iron Man, your favorite first book in a series. So for this one, I picked something that is really my first in a series so far. I'm in the middle of a lot of series lately, and there's a lot of series that I've been wanting to read, so I decided it would only be fair if I chose the first book in the series that I have finished so that I can compare it to the rest of the series. So for this one, I went ahead and went with Divergent by the lovely Veronica Roth. I really like this book. It's my favorite from all three. I think it's amazing. If you haven't read it, I really recommend her series. I mean, there's the movies out now and all of that, but this book is such a good start to that world and introducing the characters and Triss. And it's so fast-paced, full of action, so I have to go with this one for the Iron Man part. The next Avenger is Captain America. Pick a book or a series that you really like but takes place in a different time period. So I chose Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I've only read the first book, although I own most of them now, but I love this book. It was so good, and it does take place in the 1700s. So it's very historical, and I don't want to give away spoilers, but it's just very good. And I loved it. So this one. It's so good. I'm so excited to continue reading them, but they're just so big. The next Avenger is Thor, a book based on any kind of mythology. I'm gonna go with Rick Riordan's world of Greek mythology and Roman god mythology. All the gods in his books are amazing, and as some of you know, or if you don't know, he came up with a new book called Magnus Chase for Norse mythology, which is the same type of mythology as Thor, so it's very intriguing. So I haven't read Magnus Chase, but House of Hades is my favorite of the Heroes of Olympus series, so I decided to go with this one, which includes Greek and Roman mythology. The next one is Hawkeye. For this one, you have to pick a book or a series that you really loved, but it's not as popular or does not have as much attention as you would like it to have. And for that one, I went ahead and chose Gregor the Overlander by Suzanne Collins, which is her middle grade series about this boy who basically gets thrust into a whole new world underground. He discovers all these different people and animals and things like that, and discovers things within himself. So it's really interesting and it's really good. It's kind of gory, even though it's a middle grade, you know, Suzanne Collins. So it's really good. I don't have the books. I borrowed them from my sister. It's so good. It just needs more of a fandom. It needs more attention because it's so great and so fun. So for the next one, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. So you have to pick a sibling duo from your... Somebody's playing the piano, great. I live in a freshman hall, residential hall in a university, so have to put up with their noise, and they have a piano, so great. Anyway, favorite sibling duo. Mine is actually Izzy and Alec from The Mortal Instruments. Sandra Clare. I love Izzy and Alec. I think they are so good together as siblings. They love each other so much, you can tell. And then throughout City of Bones and the beginning of the series, and actually the whole series, you see how Izzy is so supportive of Alec. She doesn't see his sexuality as something that will matter, really. It's just she loves her brother and she just wants to support him. So I think it's so great. Izzy and Alec, the best. And they could cast together too. Next Avenger is Loki, and for that one you have to pick a villain that you can't help but love. I went ahead and chose Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter, mainly from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, as some of you might know why. She's very evil. She just loves to cause people pain, and she's like Voldemort's #1 supporter, basically. Like, some people feel like they're supporting Voldemort because of fear or they want power, but Bellatrix just does it because she enjoys it. She just wants to be a B-word, and but I can't help but love her because she's just so good at being bad, and I love it. So Bellatrix Lestrange. Next Avenger is Antman, and for this tag, it is a book that you've been meaning to read, but you haven't got around to reading it yet. The reason why is because a lot of people haven't got to watch it yet. So for me, it is actually Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I recently purchased books 2 and 4. I know I'm buying them all funky, but I'm really excited to read it. I think I'm going to read it by the end of this year for Throne of Glass, and I'm really excited to read it. I've heard a lot of great things about the characters and the story and her writing, and I'm just really excited. The next Avenger is The Hulk, a book that you can't talk without getting angry or worked up over. So for me, it's a book that not only gets me angry, but gets me frustrated and sad and upset, maybe a little depressed, but just so much goes on in this book, and it's so good. I love it, and at the same time, it makes me have conversations and rants, but still, I went with this one, Mockingjay. And yes, the last part of the film franchise is about to be released on theaters, so I'm really excited. And I actually recently re-listened to this, an audiobook, on my way to work, and it made me feel these feelings. You know, I'm angry because I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't for some reason read it, but this one, just everything that happened. Suzanne Collins did not hold back on what goes on and the characters, and who doesn't survive. So that's all I'm gonna say. The next Avenger is the newest Avenger that I know from the movie franchises, is Ultron. So for this one, you pick a character from a book that is a snobby child, your favorite snobby child character from a book. In my case, I didn't choose a child, more like someone who acts like a child or can be snobby like a child. So I went ahead and picked Jessamine Lovelace from the Infernal Devices. And I'm showing you the graphic novel because I love the art in this. It's so cute, and you can see Jessamine this is the scene where she's talking to Tessa when she sees Tessa transform for the first time, and she transforms into Jessamine, and she's like, is my nose really that big? Like, she's just so snobby, and I love her. She's beautiful, and she just doesn't want to be in that world, and I don't know, she's just really interesting and more complex than you'd think for someone who is kind of snobby. Usually characters that are like that, or they have a reason for that behavior or something that caused them that when they were younger, things like that. So I think Jessamine is a good one for that snobby child Avenger part of the tag. Lastly, but definitely not least, is Black Widow. And that is a side character who you wish would get their own movie or book. For me, I went with Leo Valdez from Heroes of Olympus by Rick Riordan, because Leo Valdez, not only is he just a great character overall, well written and very funny and so smart and just witty and sarcastic, he's also very diverse, and he's just very easygoing. I also really love that Rick Riordan writes very diverse characters in this series, and Leo happens to be one of the Latino characters in that series, so I have to go with him because I would like to see more from him, what happens after Heroes of Olympus, maybe a little spin-off. I still haven't read The Trials of Apollo, which will revisit some of these characters, so maybe we'll get some of Leo in there. So that was it for my Avengers book tag. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sorry if everything was jumpy and out of place, badly edited, poorly edited, because I'm very new at this and I'm really excited to join BookTube. So I hope you enjoyed it, and reviews, discussions, book hauls, things like that. Go ahead and subscribe or like the video if you enjoyed it, or you can also comment your favorite Avenger and then link it to the tag that corresponds to that Avenger.